Alright, Shalom. First, I'd like to start by saying all praise to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. My name is Pt.1, and I'm here to prophesy about the downfall of America, just as well as the surrounding kingdoms. The surrounding kingdoms are the Russians, Japanese, Chinese, the Arab nations, the East Indian nations, just as well as prophesying about Jacob submitting to the Lord or losing their kingdom and having to be rebirthed back in the reincarnation and righteousness to give their kingdom back to them, so to speak. And I'm only saying that because you got a lot of African, so-called African, my bad. You got a lot of Israelites that are ruling in Africa right now. Got their own little countries and whatnot. And down there they do a lot of witchcraft and various philosophies on Christianity, Islam, and all other types of shit, So when the Lord returns, the Lord is going to subjugate all the heathen nations. And we're going to put them in slavery with the Lord, Yahweh. I'm of the elect, because the elect going to get that privilege to do that with Yahushua. And everybody that's of our nation that don't want to take heed, going to die. And be birthed back through the elect and given their kingdom. Yes, all of Israel is going to be made righteous, and all of Israel is going to rule forever, according to the Bible. And that's why you see all this hell going on, which the scriptures call them prophecies. That's why you see all these events going on. The scriptures call them prophecies, man. What I stated in the beginning, that's prophecy. And it's going to happen. This is Daniel chapter 7, verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and ever. Right. America's going to be took over by the Lord and his prophets, those who the saints represent. The Israelites, the so-called black Native Americans, are the saints according to the Bible. America's the #1 ruling kingdom right now. Her rule will come to an end when the Lord returns. And we're going to take over. This Psalm chapter 148, verse 14. He also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of his saints, of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him, praise ye the Lord. Right. Even of the children of Israel, those who the saints represent, man. The nation of Israel. Not nobody else, not no other nation. You got to be an Israelite, a so-called black, Latin, and Native American, to be known as a saint according to the Bible. You can't be a white man and call yourself a saint. The Lord created the white men to be the physical counterparts of the spiritual demon Satan on this side, man. You can't say you a saint and you got your history go back to them so-called Africans or Canaanites before they were called African. The white man put his name on Africa. Egyptians, Cushites, Ishmaelites. If you're not a black Latin Native American, you are not a saint, man. Just back at Daniel chapter 7, verse 18, one more time. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Right. We're going to rule forever over the heathen nation and subjugate every last one of them, man. Starting with their leaders. This is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 21. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord Yahweh shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, their elites, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. Right, man? So the elites of the heathen nation are going to be punished. How? By getting put in captivity. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. Our land is the land of Jerusalem. We are not from Africa. The Israelites fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution. That's how we ended up there. Isaiah 14 and 1. For the Lord Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. So we're going back to the land of Israel because we are the Israelites. And the strangers shall be joined with them. The strangers represents those of our people that are scattered, that believe. Because you have Israelites that might not believe aren't going to believe when the Lord returns, and they're going to be put to death. That's why I made that statement earlier. Jake don't have to come up under the true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of of the scriptures, of the true doctrine that governs this world, or die. You can't be a Marxist, can't be in Islam, can't be in Hinduism, Satanism, and think you're finna go into the kingdom of heaven. They're gonna be having them videos of them being in the kingdom of heaven, drinking 40s and dancing with women and all that bullshit. All that shit is not gonna be in the kingdom of heaven. The music is witchcraft. The liquor is poisonous. The women dress like hoes. You women will learn y'all natural order according to the Bible, and that's wearing dresses, have being covered. This is First Peter, chapter 1, verse 1. Peter, an apostle of Yahushua, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia. You see it says strangers, right? Because the Israelites were scattered, the strangers, and they were scattered from their lands. Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia, elect according to the foreknowledge of the Father through sanctification of the Spirit unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Yahushua, grace unto you and peace be multiplied. Right. The strangers were Israelites that were scattered. You know how Jake like to say, well, I'm a Chicagoan, or I'm a New Yorkan, so to speak. I'm from Detroit, and they claim these cities and put these titles on themselves of that city. Same thing that was going on back in the ancient world. All right, this is back to Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them. The Israelites that were scattered. On this side, you got Israel. That's basically Israel all gonna come back together, man. It's just saying that they're the Israelites, and they all gonna come back to us, man. And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them, the heathen. It's going to be our possessions. And the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and shall rule over their oppressors. Right, we were oppressed in these kingdoms, under these kingdoms in America, and these lands that Israel are scattered. They're oppressed. So we're going to take our oppressors and put them in captivity. Starting with the elect, though. Alright, I want to look at this word stranger real fast.
Strong's G 3927. Parepidemos. Parepidemos.
Parepidemos, which means one who comes from a foreign country into a city or land to reside there by the side of the natives, a stranger, sojourner in a strange place, a foreigner. Right. Not all Jake was in the land of Israel at the time. They were scattered. All right. All right, this is Romans chapter 8, verse 16. And it's like it seems like I'm all over the place. This is impromptu. But this is the point. And what I'm getting at, this is Romans chapter 8, verse 16. The Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. And if children, then heirs. Heirs of the Most High, or heirs of God, as it says, and joint heirs with Yahushua. Right, joint rulers, co-rulers with whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. If so be that we suffer with him. See, you got to go through what he went through. And the only way you go through what he went through is if you do what he did. That's why I said the elect first. Because all Jake not of the elect. Like it says in Romans. I can jump real fast. This is Romans. Is it in Romans? Yeah, it's in Romans. Romans chapter 9, verse 6. Not as though the word of the Most High have taken non effect, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel. Right, so you have to be of the elect. That's all it means. You got an Israelite that's elect, chosen, that doesn't follow the ways and the custom of the heathens, and then you got the heathenistic Israelites that follows the custom of the allegiance, the heathens whom the Lord has condemned. But this is Romans chapter 8, verse 17. It says, and if children, then heirs, heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with the Yahushua, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. Right, suffer with the Lord so that we can be glorified together, man. So it's going to start with the elect as being the number one rulers. 2/3 of the nation of Israel are going to be cut off. And then that's only for America. You got Israelites that's not over here in America that's going to be cut off in them times as well. You got Israelites that's taking part in this war. I got a brother that just signed up for the war. What I was told, he's been in one of the military branches for about a year now. That's him fighting. That's him fighting for the beast. Fighting for the beast. The Lord is gonna put the beast down, man. Yahweh shine his angels, Satan and his angels. That's scripture represent. You got brothers. You got all three of your oldest brothers in the truth, and you go join the army anyway. You heard the truth multiple times, but It's the Lord. That's just an example. You have to be of the elect. This truth can be around you from day one up until the day you're going to pass away, and you still don't accept it. Let me see. All right, this is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord Yahweh, two parts therein shall be cut off and die. Right, 2/3 of the nation of Israel is going to be put to death over here in America. But the 1/3, shall be left therein. Right, that's the elect. And I will bring the third part through the fire. I will refine them as silver is refined, and that's basically the hell to come. Remember, Yahushua had to go through his sufferings unto death during the ministry. The elect got to go through their sufferings, which include the hell that's coming, the famine, the pestilence, the riots, unto death, if the Lord see fit for you to die. It says, and I will bring the third part through the fire and will refine them as silver is refined. And that's a refining process, so that you can be perfect with the Lord and calling and depending on him. Because that's what suffering does to you. It builds your faith. It makes you want to call and depend on the Lord a whole lot more for things that you need, want, get you out of certain situations, etc. And the times we're living in, and even more so then, as the time of Jacob's trouble. It says, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. And that's a cut to Nate in the IUIC, calling on Jesus. That ain't the Lord's name. That's a cut to every church that's calling on that name. You know? That's a cut to Islamic groups that's calling on Allah. That ain't the Lord's name. Let me read it again. It says, Zechariah chapter 13, verse 9. They shall call on my name. The Lord spoke Hebrew. And I will hear them. That means the Lord not going to hear them, guys, in them days. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord Yahweh is my God. Right. And that's something good to have on you, because you know, whenever the nation of Israel called upon the name of the Lord, when it was in distress, got taken down by nations, or whatever they was going through, the Lord answered them. and delivered them. You're going to need the name of the Lord so that the Lord can deliver you. But ultimately, you have to be of the elect, because you can have a name, like the scriptures say, many shall call on my name, and that's why Nate and them throwing it out there like that, but they don't know that they're in a trick bag, because you can know the Lord's name, and it still not work for you. What, you thought you was slick, Nate? It's a lot of your guys, a lot of them men within RUIC, just